read quite a few books this past month in October, and let's talk about it. So October was a pretty good month for me. I read 16 books in October. That's insane. I think that's like my best month ever. I'm not gonna do this in order. I could do this in order. I'm not gonna do this in order. I'm just going to pick up the books from the stack, because otherwise I would have to have multiple stacks so the stack doesn't fall. So we're just gonna... I read Assistant to the Villain. I think I gave this 3 or 4 stars. I can't remember. I felt like it just wasn't giving enough, and then it randomly left on a cliffhanger. I thought this was a standalone book. This is not a standalone book. This is about Evie, and she is trying to get a job, and something bad happened at her last job, and so she goes into the woods to kind of figure things out, and she runs into the villain. She becomes his assistant, and they do some good. There were some twists and turns along the way. I do wish they had added more to a very specific character so that their betrayal made more sense. I think the first half was really, really good. Like, I really liked the first half, and then the second half, I was like, what, did we lose steam? Did we like come back to this? Like, what's going on here? I do recommend this for people who want kind of like a quick, easy, a fun read, something funny. This is not a standalone though, so I would not read this if you are just looking for a standalone. And I don't know when the next book comes out, but I would read the next book. I also did not read this. I read Mere Christianity, which is a small book in this book. This is not the book that I read. But I don't have just Mere Christianity on its own. I have him in his complete signature classics. So Mere Christianity is about C.S. Lewis. I believe I gave this like a 4-star as well. I could be checking this, but I don't have my phone with me. Mere Christianity is very good for people who want to understand more about Christianity, but from like a scholarly point of view. Anyways, this is, I would read this if you wanted something from a scholarly point of view. This book is not for people who did not love school, who did not love sitting in a classroom and being lectured. This is for people who are very interested in the more scholarly, more like philosophy, I suppose. I don't know how to explain this. If you zoned out, you were on your own, girl. So, but I did like the book, and I would obviously recommend it. I love all of C.S. Lewis books. Haven't met one that I didn't jive with yet. I also read Spells for Lost Things. This is by Jenna Evans Welch. I believe I gave this 4 stars. This is such a cute little YA read. Like, it's so fun. It was great for the spooky season. I really liked it. It just was like a really good time. And this is about, what's her name? Willow. This is about Willow and Mason, right? Mason, I believe. Yeah, Mason. So Willow and Mason, they don't know each other at first. Willow is in California. Her mom's sister, who she's never even heard of, has passed away. And so they go to Salem, Massachusetts to take care of this house. And along the way, Willow finds out that maybe her mom is hiding a little bit more than a sister. So she goes on this really fun little quest. And then Mason also moves to Salem, Massachusetts. He is searching for his mom. He's in this foster care. And it just was really cute and wholesome, and I really liked this book. So I do recommend this. I kind of want to read her other stories now. If they are similar to this, I think her other stories must be really good. I think I own like 2 or 3 of her other books. So I know I have Love and Olives. I want to say I also have Love and Gelato, which I saw the movie for that on Netflix, not knowing that it was her book. But anyways, this was cute. I also read Finley Donovan is Killing It. And this is by Elle Cosimano. I don't know who this is by. Elle Cosimano, yeah. Anyways, this was so funny. This was so funny. I laughed so hard in this book. This is about Finley. She is a writer, and she is on a time crunch to finish a book. She's about to lose her whatever they give you when you're a writer. She's about to lose it. She's also about to lose her house and her kids. She's going through a very messy divorce, and this lady pays her to get rid of her husband. Micah, no. No squeaky toys. So this lady pays her to get rid of her husband, and Finley doesn't want to do it at first, and then there happens to be a very convenient accident. I think what made this funny is that technically Finley's done nothing this entire time, and it's just a series of accidents. But because she is a writer, she keeps pointing things out, being like, you know, if I was writing this book, people would never believe this to be real, because how could it be? It's so absurd. But this is actually happening, and it's just fun. It's a fun read. There are 2 other books in this series that I definitely plan on reading. I also read Adelaide. I gave this book 5 stars. This book made me cry. I have a vlog of me crying while reading this book in my Haley Barbour Made Me Read It series. This book was just really, really good. Okay, so Adelaide and Rory start this relationship, and you go through this whole thing with her, and it is just so heartbreakingly sad, because they're both healing in different ways, but it's a lot. It's just so much, and I thought this was really good. Again, I cried like a little baby. I cried, and I do like that the entire relationship is Adelaide trying to heal and trying to do better for her mental health. I also read You Again in that vlog. And this is a fun little quirky read. This is about, okay, they said that this is like a Harry Met Sally retelling type of thing, like the movie. I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like the first half, the main character was kind of annoying. Like the girl, I thought she was kind of annoying. I thought the guy was pretty standard, but then I really did like their friendship. Like I really, really, really liked their friendship. She's new to New York. This, honestly, he read like an Ali Hazelwood type of a guy. So if you like Ali Hazelwood's writing, I think you would like him. I read the whole Cruel Prince series, all 5 stars. All of these are 5-star books. Every single one of them, maybe not this one, maybe this one's like a 4-star, but all of these, the trilogy is a 5-star, every single one. I loved this series. I still think about this. I've read it like a couple weeks ago, and I still think about this series. So it was that good. I don't know if I will ever stop thinking about this. It just was so phenomenal. I really loved everything in these books. I loved these stories. I loved these characters. I loved everything about them. So highly recommend them. If you don't know what The Cruel Prince is about, it is about Jude Duarte and Cardan, and they repeatedly are backstabbing each other, trying to get the other person killed. So there's a lot that happens. There's a lot of scheming that happens. It was so phenomenal. I have an entire reading vlog on all 4 of these books. So if you want to check that out for more information on the books, like go do that. It is spoiler free, so you can you can watch it and not be spoiled by anything that happens. I will say that in Queen of Nothing, I did cry at the very end, because it just was very moving and very touching, and like there was a lot that happened in that. So the whole series was so good. The whole series was so good. I read Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I think I gave this 4 stars. It was good. I did not see a lot of the things that were coming. This is about this married couple, and they go on this little trip to Scotland after their therapist, marriage counselor, whatever, tells them to go take a trip together and try to rekindle their relationship. And it is a mess. It is a disaster of a mess, and like things are happening. I honestly didn't see the ending coming, because I thought that the husband and the wife were in this like Mr. and Mrs. Smith type of situation. If you've seen that movie with Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, like I thought it was going to be one of those types of books, but it's not. It's better. I think this video is coming out after this one, so you'll see more detail on it. But I also read these 2 books. This is Hellfire and Honey. They are in a series. They're 2 different books, obviously, but they're in the same series. I read these on my trip to Austin, Texas, to see my baby brother get married, and that was beautiful. So I read these still in October, and they were really good. they're dark romance. They're very dark romance. Very, very, very dark romance. If you like dark romance, I don't need to tell you to check trigger warnings. If you do not know dark romance, please educate yourself. Don't just like, oh, these are such cute colors. They're so beautiful. I will read them. I will pick them up. Don't do that. Do not do that. Make that the last thing that you do. First, dive in and see. The video is coming out after this, so just wait for that video so that I can tell you more about these books in better detail. But overall, I gave both of them 3 stars. I think this was good in like getting you into the story, which is what you kind of want in book 1. You just want to be in the story. You don't really want to know everybody's back history. You don't need to know who their grandmother had an affair with. But this one tells you. These were good though. They were good. I gave them 3 stars, which is not a bad rating in my opinion. I think 3 stars, I think most books are 3 stars. 3 stars just means I probably won't read them again, but I thought they were good. And I probably will recommend them in the future, but I probably won't think about them all that often unless I'm trying to think of a book to recommend. This video is coming out after my Dia de los Muertos video, so you will just have seen that video and you will just have seen these books. These are the 3 books that I read for that video. There's a 4th book, but I read that one technically in November. So these are the 3 books that I read though in October, and it is The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina and The Haunting of Alejandra and Vampires of El Norte. This book I gave 3 stars. I thought it was really good. It's kind of a retelling of the La Llorona story. So I thought it was really good. I think there could have been more added to the character. Again, I literally just reviewed this on the previous video. So if you want more information, go click that video. Go watch that video. I give you way more information on it. And then this one I thought also was very good. I just think she spent so much time on everyone's backstory, and that was very confusing and very annoying. Vampires of El Norte, I gave it 4 stars. It didn't have that 5-star vibe, but this will forever be my favorite author. Like, she's just so good at telling stories. I think all of her writing is just so beautiful. And yeah, I really loved this book. This is about a girl and a guy and kind of their romance. There's cowboys, there's vampires, there's a ranch. It's 1840s Mexico. It was good. It was fun. It was entertaining. It was a little spooky at times. And that's every book that I read in October. There's so many of them. Holy wow. I hope that you guys saw some books that you found entertaining or interesting or something that maybe you want to read. Hopefully November is just as good of a reading month. I really hope that this wasn't like a, oh, I read 16 books in October and now I'm going to read 0 books in November. I am gonna let you go because my dog needs attention. He needs to be loved right now. So I'm gonna go love him, and I will see you guys later. Please don't forget to comment and subscribe. Please just leave a comment down below. I would love to know how many books you read in October. And if there's any books in these that you're like, you know what, maybe I'll add that to my November list. Let me know what's going on. And please don't forget to subscribe. It makes me feel important. Okay, goodbye.